welcome back to the channel. So I'm really hoping, before we get started, I really hope that you guys like the new logos. And if you get a chance, make sure that you check out my Patreon page. So, with that being said, in case you haven't figured it out, this channel includes just a little bit of everything. And today is a choring day, which means I'm basically trimming up all the trees in my backyard and the front yard and the bushes and all that other stuff. And as we're back here, you can hear all the other gardeners going around, and you know, everybody's got their own yard people, but I refuse to pay for somebody to do something I can do myself. So what I'm going to go over today is I'm actually going to show you how I trim my trees. I'm not going to do a full-fledged tree trimming video, but I am going to show you what I look out for and the ways that I decide on which branches to cut and which direction that they're running and all that other stuff. I am not an arborist, but I have been doing this for about 20 years of my life, trimming trees either for money or for myself. And I do hold a degree in biology. There is some plant science and stuff in there that I've studied, but certified arborist, if you got real questions, I suggest seeking those guys out if you've got like the real technical questions, because they have hundreds and hundreds of you know, hours of education and training under them that cover many different species of trees. But I'm going to show you specifically Crape Myrtle, oak tree. I got an olive tree back here, and I've got some fruit trees. So I'm just going to show you how I go around and I trim all of those up. So stay tuned. So you can see here, I mean, the tree's not bad. I trim them twice a year. You know, I trim them the early springtime, and I trim them in the late fall. So right now, I don't know when this video is going to go out, but it's about mid-October. All right, so here we are on this Crape Myrtle, and you can see one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in, and you see how these branches, they go to the inside of the tree. I'm going to be cleaning these up, taking this off, taking this other one off over here. You see how this branch just doesn't look good, so I'm going to pull that one off. But just going back and forth between all of these, any branch that goes and shoots to the inside, I cut off. Any branch that is big, like this one here, it's not necessarily going to the inside. You see this one right there? So it's not necessarily going to the inside, but it is coming back across all my branches. So I'll take that one off. I'll clean this branch up to where it kind of goes straight up instead of all branch and fork. And so basically what I'm doing is I'm just getting rid of all these little branches that are feeding in between these forks. And so what happens when you trim a tree, they have, you know, just a typical bud. It's a meristem, the apical meristem. Whenever you trim it, you can see like this tree, I cut it here last spring. It shoots out a branch this way. So these are the things that you got to clean up in the fall. And then the same thing whenever this tree, because it's going to lose all of its leaves, whenever it loses its leaves in the winter time, and when it starts shooting things out back in the spring, it'll start shooting out next to all the little nodules or all the little places that I cut. And you see this branch here is split, so I'll probably cut that off right there, right here. All right, and I'm just going to clean these up. So let's go ahead and let's do that, and I'll show you how that's done. All right, so before I get started, the first thing that I do is I just come around and I look for any branches that are just messing up the figure. So you see this branch here, you can actually see where it comes across, goes up, and it has attached itself to the other branch. Okay, so this little branch doesn't need to be here, so I'll be cutting that one off right there. Also, I was looking, there's another one over here. All right, so I've got 1, 2, 3 branches right in a row. And it's not that this one's bad because it doesn't really hit anything. It's just unnecessary. So I can pull this, cut this branch off here, right? This branch is plenty big to take its place. And then I'll also cut this off here that goes off in that wonky direction, okay? You just want to keep everything flowing natural and just make sure that, you know, it keeps the silhouette and the shape that you want of the tree. actually prefer like just a good pair of loppers whenever I'm doing this over the saws and things. It's a lot faster and it's also a lot cleaner. All right, so now I'm just gonna start going through, and like I said, I'm gonna get those branches that are coming back across the center and that are twisted up, and I'm just gonna start cleaning up these main branches, things like this here. So let's see how we come out. Now that I have like the interior cleaned up, so you can see how nice that looks in there, now I'm going to start on the outside. I'm going to start trimming these larger branches back and cleaning those up as well. So like you got like some thickness up in here that I got to take care of. So this is what I'm looking for. You got to imagine like that stick tree that you always drew when you were a kid. This is the way Crape Myrtle looks. I mean, Crape Myrtles, I believe they're just bushes that can be trained in a whole bunch of different ways. And so this one, we've been training it to be a tree now for the last 10 years. All right, so let's go ahead and let's keep cleaning this one up. Looky here. So there she is. Right, and so the idea here, what you got to remember is normally you don't top most trees, but Crape Myrtle, you know, they're a shrub. They're growing from the ground. They constantly trying to shoot up new shoots and growth and things like that. So that's what you have to remember when you're doing that. So most trees, you never top them. You never cut the crown. Fruit trees, you can cut them flat. Nut trees, you can cut them flat and things like that. Anyway, I'm gonna do this oak. I'll probably throw that up in another video along with my fruit trees. So make sure you watch for that. And again, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video.